Today we're going to have a little talk about resonance. It's very common nowadays for people to use the word resonate, and especially in the spiritual worlds where people communicate about different aspects of spirituality. And we use the term mainly to say, I suppose not correctly, not fully correctly, but correctly to an extent, I agree with what you're putting out, or it sounds good to me, or it feels good to me, which is actually more the case. It's more the case that things feel good to you when we talk about resonate. That statement you made really resonated with me. And that's because it's coming from the same place as your being is at that time. Of course, everything in our worlds is about change. In the physical world especially, the only constant we have is change. And it's true to some extent because we are constantly progressing. So from one second to the next, spiritually and physically, we are progressing. Some may say at times digressing, and that can often be the case, but only temporarily. Because even though at times we think we're digressing, going backwards, if you like, or going the wrong way, going downwards, it's only a blip usually, so that we can come back and be ahead of where we were before, because everything that happens to us is to make us who we need to be. This is, to me now, that is a fact. And when we're talking about the resonant frequency, every human being has their own unique resonant frequency. What their being resonates at, the frequency they resonate at. And I'm not going to get into the technical side because it's too convoluted and can be too confusing. But we're talking usually in the terms of hertz, kilohertz, hertz, the frequency we know and we discuss as hertz. But of course, it's a lot more diverse than that, because everyone has their own resonant frequency. So there's billions of resonant frequencies out here. How do we separate them with what we know as hertz? It's probably impossible. The numbers would be so small and so decimal point and another 100 million numbers afterwards, it just wouldn't be worth thinking about. Too complicated. We just have to accept the fact. Every physical thing has its own resonant frequency also. They vibrate at a frequency to them. I'm sure you're all aware of the opera singer and the glass technique, where an opera singer can hit the same note when they're singing. They can sing the same note that is the resonant frequency of a glass. And that glass then shatters because they've hit the same note. It has an effect like that. So you all know basically what this is about. However, where we tend to miss the full meaning of this is how we understand how we actually resonate. And I've been guided recently about this, and the guidance has been telling me that it's very much like, and a lot of my guidance is like this, like the two swords in Aikido that meet. As the two swords come together, they do not clash, they harmonize with each other. They harmonize, and one harmonizes with the other so that it can actually overcome the blade by moving the energy that it is having transmitted to it to a place of its own need, a place to take it to a place that it has then full control of that blade. And this is the same with us, really. When we're in a room listening to people talk like myself and millions and billions of others on these matters nowadays, when we hear people talking about spiritual things, let's say, or things that are out of the ordinary, sometimes we just get a feeling and know deep inside, that is what I believe also. That is my truth also. I feel really strongly about this. That's exactly how I would state this. That's exactly how I would feel about this. That is true resonance. That is when we can truly say, I resonate with this. It's how it's making you feel. It's affecting you in how you feel about the subject. It's affecting you about your connection to the said subject. We'll use those words. They're only words, but you can get the idea of what we're talking about. How you feel about this subject matter. It's deep, and it's inside of us. It's in our hearts, actually. Everything we talk about resonating with is because it's resonating with the higher self of us. And that is through our heart. Worth thinking about. Worth feeling this for yourself. Next time you have that feeling, oh, I really resonate with what Marcus or what John or Jim or Jane is saying, or what Karen is saying. When you feel that next time, try and observe how and where you're feeling it. Deep inside of you. Sometimes it can make you tearful or joyful, excited, blissful. It can have these effects on us because it goes so deep. Within all these words that we transmit to each other, I have recently discovered from the guidance I receive from star beings mainly and archangels that when we're transmitting words, especially in a spiritual sense, in a spiritual nature, but not just in those natures, we are also transmitting love light energy, energy of sorts that is coming from us. More so if we are of a higher vibration, if we've raised our consciousness to a higher vibration, because we are more in our hearts at all times, nearly all times. And so when we're transmitting thoughts or feelings to others, there's more going on than just the words. I'm pausing here so that you can feel what I'm transmitting without the words. I'll do it once more. When we are speaking or transmitting words, there's also something being transmitted with those words when it's coming from a higher vibrational place, especially from the heart. So I've transmitted something. Be interesting to see if anyone picks up on that. What have I transmitted? Anyway, this is just the start of an epic journey for us all as we are going through now from the equinox. We're becoming these new human beings. This is a part of us now as we awaken to these truths that we've always known deep inside, but it's not always easy to verbalize or talk or think about these things or feel these things for ourselves. But now it's natural because we can all now resonate with Source, with all that there is, with unity, consciousness. Namaste. Until next time.